and welcome to the NewsX Sunday Guardian Roundtable. Well, today we are going to be taking a look at the 2024 general elections, and the big question really is that is it already a done deal? We've had the Ram Mandir Pran Pratishtha, we've had the Hindu vote really consolidating in favor of the BJP, or is that what we are being told by the BJP, so to speak? The Congress, on the other hand, is telling us nothing. There is no plan, no narrative. There's Rahul Gandhi, who's embarked on the leg 2 of his Bharat Jodo Yatra. But all those who've been on the Yatra have also come away saying that talking about Nyay, talking about Bharat Jodo, all very good points, but they're just esoteric. There's nothing tangible. And then on the other hand, we have the India alliance that is breaking state by state. So what can the opposition offer to counter Prime Minister Modi? And if it is a done deal, then are we talking numbers? Will the BJP be able to cross Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi's record and get more than 400 seats? Look at the months ahead. Look at what is expected. Joining me on the roundtable from the Congress is Mudit Agarwal. We have Tuhin Sinha from the BJP, and from the Sunday Guardian we have Pankaj Vora. Pankaj, just set the scene for us. What are we expecting in the next few months? How do you see the situation?
Perception-wise, BJP is far ahead, and BJP is likely to, clinch the 2024 elections. But, to say that BJP will cross 400 is impossible. BJP contests in all not more than 436 seats. So how can you have a strike rate of 400 out of 436 or 437? It is totally ruled out. BJP will be very happy to, be in power, to, repeat its performance, to, repeat what it had done in 2019. And if it is able to do that, it should be a matter of great satisfaction for it. Everything else is just to, hype up the situation or to, charge up the cadres. And I don't think any of that sort is happening. 400 is totally ruled out. It may be a slogan. Having said that, as you said, that Ram Mandir is a big issue. Ram Mandir has touched the common people. It has touched even people who support the Congress. And it is an emotional and a religious issue. But how far it will help the BJP is a matter of speculation. Many people believe that it will carry the BJP through this election, and BJP has nothing to fear. However, by tying up with Nitish in Bihar, it shows to some degree nervousness on part of the BJP leadership, because it feels that religion is not enough. It needs to strengthen its caste base.
Correct.
If religion was the main criteria, then BJP was all the way through, whether Bihar or UP. But in Bihar, the caste equations are very sharp and BJP does not wish to take any chances, and therefore is wanting that Nitish and the OBCs and the various other EBCs, etc., come to its rescue, and the upper castes are already with it, and it has a good base in Bihar already. But that does betray BJP's nervousness. So overall, they are in the pole position, likely to romp home to victory. Congress is very scattered. Congress has no direction. Rahul Gandhi is, has undertaken this Nyay Yatra, and hoping that it will have political dividends, but without an organization to back. It's very difficult to expect the Congress to, conjure up numbers just by, this Yatra. The Yatra, what it is doing well for the Congress is because the national media and the general media is only focusing on BJP and Modi and the Ram Mandir, etc. So in areas from which the Nyay Yatra is doing, the local press at least is highlighting the Congress and keeping the Congress alive.
Okay, so that is good.
Yeah, and I don't think that the India alliance is, collapsed. I'll elaborate on it later in the program. But I think in Bengal and Punjab, if there's no tie-up amongst the constituents of India alliance, it's bad news for BJP.
Okay, we'll go into the alliance part later. But Mudit, what can the Congress offer the voter, to counter, what the BJP is offering? What does the Congress offer?
What Congress is talking about is one India and strong India, in which every Indian works towards economic progress of India. And how can that happen? The Congress believes it can happen if you really pay attention to providing jobs to the youth. If you pay attention to atrocities which are happening against women under this regime, if you work towards upliftment of Dalit and the farmers' issues which have to be sorted out. So what Congress is talking about is Nyay. Nyay, which means justice, and justice for each and every segment of the society, so that even these fault lines, what we have in society of divisive fault lines, whether they are based on caste or whether they are based on religion, they are done away with, and every Indian works together to make this country strong and prosperous. That's what Congress is working about. And when you talk about Nyay Yatra, I mean, Rahul Gandhi ji did Bharat Jodo Yatra, and now it's about Nyay Yatra. I believe any yatra that you take, any public outreach which is there, obviously has a political dimension to it.
Correct.
And the yatra, as you have yourself said, and Mr. Pankaj Vora said, is getting a good resonance at the ground with the local media, may not necessarily with the national media, and you know the reasons for that not happening. So I believe Congress has a very good agenda, and I believe we'll do much better than what we did last time.
Okay, on that very optimistic note, if I may add, BJP, right, elections are won on emotion, but there is also, are you trying to build up the Hindu card to fill up the vacuum that is there in issues of development and other issues?
We don't need to build up the Hindu card. The Hindu card always belonged to the BJP, and thanks to the present day Congress, I don't think any self-respecting Hindu really vouches for the Congress party, because there is a history in the way in the last 15 years they have let down the Hindu interest. But I think most importantly, we have struck the very optimal balance of Vikas and Virasat, of Puratan and Nutan, of Pragati and Parampara. So when we talk about Ram Mandir, I think the economic development that it has brought to Ayodhya, with an additional 25,000 crore revenue generation to the UP government, I think that is a model which is being replicated across the country. The economic activity is shifting to the tier 2, tier 3 cities, which are actually going to play a very pivotal role in India's economic resurgence, or India's shoot up in the next 2 decades. So I think for us, economic progress is essentially an extension of the core ideology we believe in, and the model of Vikas and Virasat, combines the two. So I don't think there is anything left when you talk about Vikas and Virasat, infrastructure development, and he was talking about unemployment. Unemployment is at its lowest, 3.2% as per an SBI report. Recently, inflation, they talk about inflation. Inflation has been within the range of 6%, while during UPA2, it was well over 10% for most part of UPA2. So I don't think Congress really has any issue right now.
Okay, no. So Pankaj, considering the Ram and religion, you cannot wish away the mixing of religion and politics, at least in India. Do you think the Congress should have some kind of a definitive Ayodhya policy or a doctrine towards, where do they stand? Kabhi Janeau pehante hain, kabhi nahi pehante hain, kabhi locks kholte hain, kabhi regret karte hain.
Problem with the Congress is that it does not have a clear-cut policy on anything at all. And it should have had an Ayodhya policy. It knows that BJP is going to,
Play that
play that card and is going to, benefit from it. It should have, devised a strategy to, counter that. And I personally think, though, many of other colleagues may disagree with me, that the Congress leadership should have gone to Ayodhya, even if it was a Modi event, even if it was a Modi show all the way. It would have, somehow neutralized some of the criticism which is leveled against the Congress, because Congress, even in 2014 when Mr. Modi came to power, at that time when the Congress was reduced to its least number of seats in Parliament, it was stated that it was because of the perception that Congress was anti-Hindu and had tilted towards the minorities. Now this course correction has not taken place, and why or not, I don't know. At least perception-wise, it should have. And the current leadership, is not shown enough determination to correct this. Having a Janeau or going to temples does not, make anyone pro-Hindu. So basically, it has to have policies. It should have sufficient, kind of a strategy to counter the BJP.
So supposing Rahul Gandhi was to ask for your advice, or Kharge ji is supposed to ask for your advice, on the Ayodhya issue, how should we handle this whole issue of Ayodhya, Hinduism?
It is very important to understand. So one point I would say about what Mr. Sinha was saying, so as per him, as he said, any self-respecting Hindu cannot vote for the opposition. I beg to differ. Over 45%, 55% Hindus in last election voted against BJP. So there goes your argument. So what I would still say is there is a perception which is building in the society over the last 20 years that Congress has become an anti-Hindu party.
Correct.
And that's what Mr. Anthony also said in his report. We have to take cognizance of that fact and make certain corrective actions. That where I will agree with that thing. The other thing that we need to work out is we need to work out about strengthening our organization. I believe since Mr. Kharge has become, we have started moving in that direction, because for me, organization is firstly a vehicle to reach the people, to get your message across to the people. So that's a very important link between the leadership and the voter. In any party, organization is also, see, what is an organization? In case of Congress, it's about people who are emotionally and ideologically connected with the message of Congress. So till we do not work on that organization part, it will be very difficult for us to really have that message seep down to people. I'll give you an example of that. For example,
I take your organization. Tell me about the ideology.
About ideology, there is a perception which is building in public is that Congress is an anti-Hindu party, which is actually not true. So we need to be cognizant of that fact and take corrective actions in that regard. That much I will concede with what Mr. Vora is saying.
Okay.
And there are several ways that can be achieved.
Which I will ask you in a bit also. But, in terms of, if the Congress says that, the Ayodhya was a court decision, the Prime Minister is not really the high priest to actually go and do all the puja. So, do you think how do you counter these charges?
Well, I'll answer both the queries that you've put forth. First of all, in the last 4 decades, I don't think there is any other leader who has played a more aggressive role in championing the Ayodhya cause. In fact, way back in 1986, there was a report in India Today which specifically mentioned about Mr. Modi, who was then the RSS chief of Ahmedabad, of how he would travel to villages around Ahmedabad. And so I don't know how many India Today reports would specifically mention a local chief of. So I think his passionate involvement with RSS has been, with the Ayodhya movement, is well documented over the last 4 decades.
So is LK Advani, so is Dr. Joshi, not the
absolutely,
only one.
And we completely acknowledge it. But the fact is, as a Prime Minister, as the current Prime Minister, he has every authority. He is well within his rights, and he ideally should have been the right person, which he eventually did, to be at the Pran Pratishtha. Now, point is, while Congress might argue that it was a court ruling, how many times did Congress try to create obstacles, either through Kapil Sibal, who specifically in December 2017 had requested Supreme Court to postpone the hearing of the Ayodhya case till 2019, because probably they were under some hallucination that they would form the government 2019. See, you need to realize that after the formation of the UP government in 2017, the BJP government, things got expedited because there were some 11,500 documents spread over 500 years, which were waiting for basic translation, which the state governments had obstructed.
Okay.
So I think there are a lot of things where BJP had a direct role in expediting the decision, in enabling the courts to arrive at a decision.
Okay.
So I don't think we should be letting go of the right ownership of the issue.
But again, Pankaj, now we come to the alliance, the India alliance. Why is it, I am seeing it break state by state. You are saying that it not such a bad thing.
The thing is that there are certain things in politics which are strategic. And there are certain things in politics which, happen and, find their own way. Now, for instance, most people, most analysts, most newspapers are saying, say in West Bengal, Mamta's decision to go it alone means it can be interpreted as a breakup of the alliance. I don't think so. If Mamta goes alone in Bengal, it suits both Mamta and the Congress and the left parties. Because had there been an alliance in West Bengal, the anti-Mamta vote would have gone in toto to BJP. Now the thing is that the anti-Mamta vote will get divided 3 ways, between BJP, the left and the Congress. So if the Congress had won only 1 or 2 seats, Mushirabad and 1 more seat last time, Congress may get 3 or 4 seats. And when Congress gets ahead in Bengal, it will be getting at the cost of BJP, which had done very well last time. And if left parties also manage to get 3 or 4 or 5 seats, that will also be from the BJP quota. And so similarly, in Punjab, the Congress and the AAP, if they ally with each other, all the anti-votes will go towards, either Akalis or the BJP, which is not existent there. So by contesting separately, they are ensuring that the contest is only between the two of them. The Akalis are nowhere in the picture, and neither is the BJP. So that way, I personally think it helps. And it is not good news for the BJP. It is contrary to what is being projected in the national media. And similarly, in UP is a very strong state for the BJP. There is no doubt over it, and I don't think the numbers are going to come down from what they were last time. But in Bihar, Nitish had managed to get 16 out of 17 seats which were in his quota. This time, I'm not sure if he can even cross 5, even if the BJP helps him.
Okay.
So, this is the kind of thing. So, there are certain things which are going to work out
in the
that way.
favor of the alliance. So that's not all, hope is not all
This
lost.
is how I interpret it. There may be other interpretations and other versions.
Well, we are here to interpret, but we're going to take a quick break. So stay on for those interpretations, but after a quick break. Hello and welcome back to the NewsX Sunday Guardian Roundtable. We're here discussing the prospects for 24, and Mudit, you've been arguing that it is not a walkover. But tell me something, in terms of the Yatra, is this a good time to go on a Yatra? Because, I'll tell you why. Because the focus of the organization is all on Rahul. You know how it is Rahul-centric, despite there being a Kharge at the center. Everybody is just worried that Rahul ki Yatra successful hogi or nahi, instead of worrying about seat sharing, narrative, manifesto, etc., etc.
You see, when you run a political party, a lot of things happen simultaneously. So when you talk about organization, Punjab is involved in Punjab right now. Organization of Madhya Pradesh is doing what is to be done in Madhya Pradesh. The only time when the Yatra goes through a particular state, that the organization of that state is involved. And
But
if it
what
is
about
involved,
your central organization? All your office bearers are sitting in
I'll come to that.
Assam or
But a
wherever
lot
the
of things
Yatra is now.
today you have how many are sitting there every day? I mean, you don't know
You
that,
also
right?
know that.
No, I know that. That's what I'm saying. So you would have certain organization people going there for certain time and then doing other stuff also. So Yatra is also a very important part of that campaign, is what I believe in. So other thing, what he talked about Hinduism, and sorry to say, but I mean, Hindus don't need certificate from BJP. BJP is no certifying agency to give certificates of nationalism and Hinduism. I mean, I don't need a certificate from you. I don't think any Hindu needs a certificate from BJP, whether I'm a good Hindu or not. See, this is the problem what BJP is doing to our religion. They are politicizing this religion, and I'm sorry to say, they should just stop doing it. And it is up to Congress to educate people what BJP is doing with our religion. This is what I believe in. In politics, narrative, I agree, is very important. We need to, in narrative building, is very important to build your message boxes. Like what Rahulji is talking about, equitable distribution of resources in terms of OBC caste census. That is one message box. The second message box primarily has to be that we are not an anti-Hindu party. We are pro-Indian. We are for each and every Indian, and we believe in strong India. That's the other message box that we need to create. The other message box we need to create is the mismanagement of Modi government. And I can go on and on. So we have to create these message boxes and then use social media, social influencers, and the role of organization becomes very important. Then to spread these messages to the people. This is what I would say.
Messaging and communication is something which the BJP is doing very well, but they are also sending a very strong message to the media and to the, traditional methods of communication that we don't need you, we're going to go talk directly to the people. Is that, something that's going to work for it in the long run? Because somewhere there's going to be that no one is asking you questions.
Well, there's no doubt that social media today is a very direct form of communication. You interact directly with the voters, but I don't think we have discarded conventional media. Unless there are certain journalists who, like the woke, ultra woke journalists who have been after BJP for no reason. So we don't feel a need to engage with them because, no matter what you do, their perceptions don't change. But I was hearing Mudit, when he talks about caste census, we don't have a problem with the caste census. Amit Shah ji has clarified this. Our problem is with Congress's brazen hypocrisy on this particular issue. You know, the two states governments of which used to exist of the Congress party, the Chhattisgarh government and Karnataka, apparently they claim that they have done a caste census, but they knew that they were fudged censuses, so they could not even, despite being told, they never had the guts to even table them. We have a problem with the Congress hypocrisy. Every time they change an issue, and these are very sensitive issues. You know, in 2011, when the caste survey was done, 8.19 crore errors were detected, out of which 1.5 crore errors still remain unaddressed. Okay. So we are not close to it, provided, we are we equipped, because from 1934 onwards, there has been no updation in the entire caste census system. And I think till such time we are fully prepared, we will not play with the country's interest the way Congress is doing to somehow get back to power. Okay. When it comes to their Yatra, see, they don't grow beyond Rahul Gandhi's personal branding and rebranding exercise. Until the time Congress is honest enough to accept that, they don't take anybody along. When they talk about Nyaya Yatra, fact is that the maximum Anyaya to the Northeast has been done by the Congress party. Whether it is Nellie massacre of 1984, whether it is in 1962 when Nehru virtually abandoned the Northeast.
But what about Manipur now?
Manipur, whatever has happened in the last few months has been extremely unfortunate, but there has been a legacy issue to it.
Okay.
See, between 2017 to 2023 was also the best time for Manipur, which is pre the starting of these things, when Manipur probably had the longest spell of 6 years without any violence. But yes, I mean, the past caught up, and which has been very unfortunate.
Okay. So, he's saying that Congress needs to get out of the Rahul Gandhi and the Gandhi Nehru mindset. They have Kharge there, but Kharge's role, how do you see his role? Can he take the Congress out of this mindset?
There are two things. Firstly, Rahul being there and Rahul being highlighted, suits the BJP more.
Correct.
And it is more than the Congress. BJP keeps on highlighting Rahul Gandhi, because if it becomes a contest between Rahul and Modi at some level, so people obviously, opt for Modi. Yeah. And in 200 odd seats where the Congress and the BJP have a direct fight, BJP starts with a distinct advantage, with the Congress not even getting, 10% of those seats or 5% of those seats. And BJP takes it all. So, if Rahul or Congress had to, make this announcement, Congress has made it, Kharge has made it several times. But Rahul should make it that he is not a contender for Prime Ministership. It will, make things a lot better for...
But Rahul is staying away, he's doing the Yatra, he's saying, I'm the ideologue, I'm not...
The thing is that, as you rightly said in your own, this thing that, it was time for strategy. It was no time for a Yatra.
That I agree.
The thing is that Congress does not have an organization. And Rahul keeps on talking of things which are alien to the Congress. The caste census, and he is, seems to be surrounded by a coterie where there are a lot of people who are left-oriented, that too, those leftists who are armchair leftists who have never been in the field. So, basically Congress, the original Congress vote bank was the Muslims, Dalits and the Brahmins. Till the time Congress gets those three things back, Congress can never come to power. And I'm being very, very 100% certain. So, BJP has no competition from the Congress. These three vote banks have to come back. And as long as the present leadership is there, it's very difficult for the Brahmins to come back. Secondly, Kharge is doing extremely well under the circumstances. But, he knows that he has his limitations. The party, the people who control the party, there are many announcements which get made without him being in the picture. So he should assert himself more than what he has been doing so. And to begin with, he should immediately appoint a political secretary for himself to send a clear message that Mr. K.C. Venugopal is not the first and end all of everything. And the buck should stop at the Congress president. So he must do this. So it is up to him. I can only make a comment. I'm not in the Congress party. I'm not a spokesman of the Congress party. So till the time they do this, it's difficult for them.
But do you see the Congress post these elections? Do you see the Congress reforming without the Gandhis? I don't know how it's going to happen.
I don't know. I mean, it's very hypothetical, because one can't say what will happen after the elections. But the Congress, if it is dreaming that it will be a principal party in getting the next government formed, I think it is, something which is going to turn into a nightmare, because Congress will have to struggle to even get into 3 digits and also to hold on to its present strength. So, it is something which should be worrying Congress, and they should, concentrate on real politics rather than, all these, superficial kind of things.
So are you going to rush to KC Venugopal's defense?
So firstly, what I was saying, this is a lot to unpack. So firstly, about Rahul. Okay. When the Yatra happened, Bharat Jodo Yatra and this Nyaya Yatra, you would see lakhs of people, lakhs of ordinary people following Rahulji. So that's his strength. If you go to the Congress worker, whom do they want as their leader, is also a fact that they love Gandhis. So these are our strengths. But as I said, having said that, there are other things that we need to build on, like getting the right message across to people, to have narrative boxes. Just to say everything is wrong which is happening because of Rahul Gandhi is not correct, because that's an asset to us. But along with that, there are certain other shortcomings, whether it's a narrative shortcoming or organization shortcoming, that we need to build on.
A tangible message is what we want.
Exactly. So that is one. As far as the strategy is concerned, as I've said, if the Yatra is happening, there are other things happening in different states. There are a lot of things, other things also happening at the same time. Why do you assume that just because Yatra has happened, nothing else is happening in Congress? There's, of course, a strategy in place. If you look at the Yatra route, there is a strategy in place. I mean, Yatra itself is a strategy, as I would at least say that. It is a political strategy. So those things are happening. As far as I see, look, in Congress party, different people are assigned different roles. Unlike in BJP, where everyone knows where the decisions are taken, right? At least we have a mechanism in which everyone has a different role.
Okay.
Organization secretary has a different role. Congress president has an extremely important role.
Okay, I'm going to cut you because I want to give Tuhin the last word.
Okay.
Are we seeing the Congressization of BJP? You know what he said, we just know one man taking all the decisions.
Well, that would never happen. The Congressization,
Happening, right?
Congressization of BJP would never happen. But yes, at this given point of time, if a certain paradigm is working for the BJP, I think it's only best because at the end of the day, what works is winning, and Congress somehow seems to be in the be habituated to losing, which we can never be.
Okay,
so if a winning formula is working, I think we would.
If it's not broke, why fix it? Says the BJP.
Also,
Okay.
I think if you could just allow me 10 seconds, there are larger issues with the Congress, which I hope they realize. When you go in a Yatra, at least you should get your basics right on whether petrol and diesel come under GST or not. When you constantly see your leader confused
on issues
about
like
that.
this, we'll go
you can't
on
be
later.
confused about it during the Yatra.
Okay, fine. We'll go into these issues later, but the larger picture really is that, is the BJP getting a walkover or not, or what can the Congress do to fix it? As the Congress is also saying, there are issues, the messaging is going to be important. A tangible message would really help with the voters to identify with the Congress. And of course, the fixation with the Nehru Gandhis, I think the time now needs for the Congress to take a relook at that. On that note, thank you so much for watching this show.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.